customer that you're like that with will break up with you. They might come back because they realize the new girlfriend didn't get the jokes. You know, my husband says, I can't get a new wife because who will get all my jokes? I said, exactly. So, but that happens. And so the real key is, how do you keep your grit? How do you say, okay, yeah, I just got the living crap kicked out of me by somebody. But you know what, it's okay, I'm gonna dust it off, and then tomorrow we're gonna start again. It's hard. So my background, I am in the beauty business. I've been in beauty my whole life. I did my first haircut when I was 8, and I went to cosmetology school on my 16th birthday. I got to sign up to go. So I put myself through college doing hair and makeup and nails in Hollywood and doing all that in California because I only wanted to work for a big cosmetic company in New York. It's all I ever wanted to do until I did it. And it was the worst, most god-awful thing ever. Because, people, when you're young, you just think, I just want to work for a big company and it's going to be all glamorous and it's going to be fantastic. But no one ever tells you it's about sales quotas. It's about selling things you don't believe in. It's about, we used to say, so I worked for Chanel for many years, and we would have to sell this Chanel red lipstick to everyone, and red doesn't look good on everyone. And it's true, and it's sad, but it doesn't matter because you just have a quota. And if you hadn't sold 2,500 Chanel reds this month, guess what? That girl's gonna, that guy's gonna, it's gonna happen, and you're gone. So you just learn how to kind of lie. I don't want to say lie, but massage the truth, maybe not in a way that's, you know what I'm saying? So at some point, after you've sold your soul to the corporate world, you realize, you wake up one day and you go, I want more for my life than this. Because if I'm going to work 70 hours a week, I might as well work 70 hours a week for myself. Because if I'm going to get paid, because everyone says, oh man, I make so much money, I'm working for Estee Lauder. It's like, look, I leave every Sunday night, I travel 100,000 miles a year, I come back Friday morning if I'm lucky. So if I'm doing that for Estee Lauder, I can do that for myself. Because when you do all that math, you're making $7 an hour. If you are lucky, $7 an hour. So if I make $7 an hour, I might as well make $7 an hour for me, right? So when we think about how we're motivated to get into business and to stay in business, I always go back to, if I'm gonna work my ass off every effing day from the time I'm awake to the time I'm asleep, not that I do that, but if I were to do that, I might as well do it for myself. Because that guy in corporate America will slit my throat in 4 seconds and leave the body. And that is just the truth. And I've been super fortunate. So I worked, I had a very big corporate job. I was in global sales, and I was traveling everywhere, going crazy, and trying to start my company at the same time. So I did that for 6 years. I had this dual jobs. So I was working 100 hours a week. It was crazy, but I didn't know any better. Because when you're stupid, you're just stupid. You don't know what you don't know. And when I started my company, it was just so, you're just looking for your big break. Well, I've had 100 big breaks, and none of them are big breaks. They're all just breaks. Luck favors the prepared. So you need to be prepared at all times for the person you're going to meet, because you don't know who that person's going to be. And my big break came when I was kind of prepared. I was at a basketball tournament with my son, and I happened to walk across the street to Whole Foods. And I was talking, looking and talking to people, and this woman was talking to another woman. She didn't have her glasses, and she said, would you mind reading this? My doctor says I have to avoid certain things, and so I'm kind of listening because I'm just dying to know what certain things she has to avoid, so I don't want to be creepy, but I'm leaning. And so the friend is reading the ingredients, and she says, oh, I can't use alcohol on my skin. My doctor says no alcohol on my skin. And I said, okay, I got to jump in here because this is just not going the way the lady thinks it's going to go. So I said, ma'am, I don't want to be rude and I don't want to interrupt, but cetearyl alcohol is actually a fat and a humectant. It's very good for the skin. You need to kind of stay away from SD alcohol. That's That's another thing. Oh, okay, thank you. She buys whatever and leaves. And another woman walks up, she says, well, how do you know so much? I said, well, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, I'm a medical esthetician, blah, 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 blah. And I happen to be starting my own line and just looking around. So she comes back and she hands me her business card. She says, well, when you're ready, you call me. And it was the wire for Whole Foods. So you just never know when an act of kindness is, I was really just wanting to make sure that that woman understood what she was doing. You just never know when that's going to lead to something else. So you always want to be prepared. So I loved your little 15-second whatevers they are, the elevator pitch. I said, well, how long's the ride? We go into 60 floors or 3? Because it's a different pitch. And just understanding, too, who your audience is. So you guys see our products. Everyone says, oh, man, you're everywhere. So this is us. We make salts, soaps. This is Enfusia. It's a play on infusing things together, and that's what we do. Our factory is behind Costco. We have 40 employees, and all we do all day long is get covered in glitter and make things. Male, female, doesn't matter. You will leave with glitter. So that's what we do. But then also, we used to be very kind of king in the space. We still have a very unique formulation, and what we do is very special. However, if there is ways for money to be made in any product, the competition will quickly follow. Arbonne didn't come about because they were trying to be something cool and special. They came about because Mary Kay was killing them. And they said, you know what, we can do Mary Kay, but better. We can be cleaner. Somebody said, it's this gentleman in the back, about being focused. So when you have the ability to maneuver to market conditions, which I encourage you to do quickly, because, business sales declines are like catching falling knives. No one wants to catch a falling knife. What happens when you drop a knife? You jump back. And that's how you need to be thinking about your business. When I see sales decline, the first thing I do is I'm in the stores. I'm in the stores anyway. You guys see me up. But I'm in the stores and I'm talking to customers about what is going on. Why is my product down here instead of up here? Those are conversations that I have to have, not just with the corporate buyers, but with the store level people also. And try to figure out, well, we have this new bath bomb now. Oh, that pretty new girlfriend. So tell me about her. Is she giving you all the love that we always have? Well, no, but look at this pretty package, and it's got frozen on it, so it must be great. It's like, okay, that thing's made in China. Okay? Let's be real. That thing was made probably 7 or 8 months ago before I'd even got on a boat to get here. The fastest boat is 32 days, and I know. So we make this every day and ship it every day. So when it arrives to H-E-B or Kroger or whomever, it's less than 72 hours old. None of our competitors can say that. There is no girlfriend prettier or faster than we are. So you just got to remind them, right? So you need to be a fast girlfriend and you need a pretty girlfriend. But, so that is just the way it goes. So these conversations that we have all the time with our customers about how to stay relevant in a space and how to make sure that our market or the product mix that we have, that the margin mix is there. Because at the end of every day, all it is a business conversation. It's not, hey, Enfusia's selling less. Okay, well, let's talk about Enfusia selling less. Are you still making more money? Because you can sell less of me and still get paid more. That's the beauty of understanding numbers. So I encourage all of you, so I saw that there's some finance people in here. So the one thing I cannot do, and I'm not allowed to do, is math. Not today, not ever. Because I have a tendency to round up when it's advantageous and round down when it's advantageous. And that's super dangerous when you're in business, right? So make sure that you understand your numbers. And truly, a lot of entrepreneurs that I see, they don't understand how much things cost. For example, they'll say, well, I think I could make this for $1. Okay, well, what about your insurance that someone's selling? And what about the liability stuff that's going on? What about, hey, I got to pay for someone's nutrition stuff. All of those things, well, now it costs $2. But most people don't understand how to figure out the math on all of those things. So I encourage you all to befriend someone who knows math. I'm so lucky that I'm married to that person. And he's our chief financial officer. He joined the company 5 years ago after his throat was slit, to put it nicely. Because that's the way of the world, right? But I've exploited everything out of him that I can, and to make our company better. But if you don't have that, you guys know enough people, get with someone who understands real math. And make yourselves cost models that you can plug your stuff into that are going to give you a real cost of goods. Because if you don't understand truly how much things cost, when you have an opportunity to get in front of anybody, an H-E-B or a Kroger or Bed Bath, anybody who you're selling to, you know who your people are that you want to sell to. You need to be able to have conversations with them and understand your ideal price points before you walk in and what your walk-away point is. So we were super fortunate that we were invited to the Walmart 100, which is there's 10,000 businesses that apply, 500 get accepted, and 100 get appointments with buyers at Walmart. And everyone says, man, I just want to sell to Walmart. That's all I just want to do. And it was super interesting because we weren't sure, honestly. We're not a low price leader in any possible way. We're not low cost. We make everything by hand in the Woodlands. We don't have machines. That's part of our process, and it's part of what makes us unique. So when we were having the conversation, they were able to share with us some analytics, but we already had an idea of where we stood. But they were very honest with us, and we were very honest with them. And we just said, you know what? You're super handsome, and I think we could get together, but I'm not the low-cost provider. And after my 6 hours of being indoctrinated with the Walmart pep rally, I knew that they only care about the low-cost provider. And that's going to be China or Vietnam or somebody else. It's not going to be me in the Woodlands, Texas. My zip code almost kicks me out of the game before I start. But it was okay. I left that. I saw people crying when they left, as if this was the only thing they had going on. And that hurt me. Because if your only thing going on is Walmart, you're going to be dead before you know it. They're going to extract everything out of you that you thought you had, and you're going to give it to them willingly because that's what you think you should do. And then they're going to leave you on the side of the road. And that's true of almost every customer we have. That's just called business. So I saw people crying, and this was my one big chance, and it was like watching the exit of Shark Tank or something. It was crazy to me. And I left there, and my husband came with me because it was a lot of math. And we left there and said, you know what? We feel okay. We feel okay that we said no, because it just doesn't make sense. Once you go into Walmart, you're not selling in some of the other channels that we sell to. So we just got our NSF certification and our FDA certification this year. And so we do a lot of private label business. We make products for brands. So we work with a lot of med spas, doctor's offices. We work with other retailers. They sell our product and we make their product, so it's kind of a cool thing. So that happened. But even that is super sticky, and you only have the business for X amount of months because they got to go out to bid. I want to stay with you, Randy, but I got to put my bosses. We got to put this out for bid. You're just lying. And it's okay. At some point, because of my corporate background, I totally know all these games. And it's okay to say, you know what, I like you, but I need 2 cents more. So I'm going to have to put it out to bid. I'm going to probably give you the business, but you're going to lose 2 cents. We could avoid all of this if you just say, I need 2 cents, right? But they won't do that, and that's okay. You just play those games with them, and it's fine. And if they leave, it's okay. Because 9 out of 10 times, they will come back because they realize it's not just I need a lower price. I have to get to the distribution center on time. I have to understand how EDI works. I have to know how to print those labels properly. There's so many little idiosyncrasies to dealing with large companies that you're not going to just scoop up the business. And what's funny is I'm not going to just scoop up the business from you either if you have it. Because I come in, I'm like, oh yeah, we got all this going on, and no one can turn it faster, and we're super good, and we got the quality, and we've got this, and we got that. It's like, yeah, but I've been sleeping with them for 10 years. And that's kind of a thing. So when you have that kind of intimate knowledge of your customer, that is just, guard that and keep that and use that. And the other thing I encourage you to do is know everybody. So the one thing that we do, like we know people from the receiving people all the way to, like I know the CEOs and all of those people. But we know everyone, because we could have the best relationship ever. You show me pictures of your dog. Oh my God, this is so great. And then you leave. And she always hated me. She hated the fact that she wasn't invited to the lunch. Right? And we've all had that. And if you haven't had it, you will have it. So don't get so entangled with one person that your whole business relies on that one person. And I don't care who the one person is. Even CEOs retire or drop dead. We've had customers that the guy dies. Like, what the hell? Oh my God, what are we going to do? So you just want to make sure that you have as many relationships as possible within the whole company. The other thing with us, because we are the type of retailers we call on, you never know when that receiver is going to work their way up to the store director. And the one time when it was pouring rain and you brought in donuts to that guy, he was so excited. You were the only vendor that ever gave a crap. He's going to remember that. I promise. I've had it happen so many times. And some people will say, man, so-and-so's just so mean to me every time I go in there, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? At our company, we kill with kindness. I don't have to be nasty to you. I don't have to point out the fact that you're a big jerk. I don't have to do any of those things. I come in on time with a Starbucks card, or hey, I'm going to stop and get a coffee. Can I get you one? Yes, I'd like a super duper blah 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 cappuccino. It's like, okay, well that was $12. And that's the way it goes. Okay, I'm not calling this person again. But that's what over time you win them over. And then that person will be your champion within the company. And they're going to say, hey, Debra, we saw these Chinese bath bombs. Oh my God, they're so gross. But I wanted to let you know because they're getting that primo spot that you have. And I have to put you down here. But it's just for a little while because we love you and you're going to be back. It's like, okay. But, every single day is a struggle and a fight for our lives. Because when I got Whole Foods, that was when my husband took me seriously. Because he was in oil and gas and finance and big money, and my wife's going to do this little thing, and, she'll get tired of that, and, right? Wrong. He didn't know that he was married to the biggest friggin' pit bull he'd ever seen. So when we got Whole Foods, he realized, oh, I think I need to take this a little more seriously. And then we got H-E-B. We have so many great customers. But every time we get a customer, this is it. This was so great. Oh my God, this is all we need. We make a sports product called Muscle Rehab. We have professional athletes that use it. It's made for runners. It's a great product. We sell it to Academy. Woohoo! We got a new Academy! And they sold out of all of it. Where's my order? Yeah, we're really busy with the World Series right now and all this other crap we gotta buy. Oh, we didn't go to the World Series. Oh, we lost. Oh, crap, now it's football season. They're busy with their main line of business, and the one thing that I make, which, by the way, is on the bottom shelf, is not on their high fry. I totally get it. But where's my order? So we finally, get the second order, and I love customers. God, I love them. Because they know we make everything by hand. They know it takes time. But what do they say? I just went over the PO. If you don't mind, we're going to need it on Thursday. I do mind, but thank you. So you rally the troops and go, okay, I know Mr. Myers just came in here and said no overtime, but we're quashing that. You work as much overtime as you want, because when the guy comes to pick up his 3 pallets today, which he did 30 minutes early, you're going to have it ready, because you're not going to say no, right? There are lots of things we say no to. Walmart didn't work. But Academy, that's the space we want to be in. It's 2 products, it sells great, it's perfect. We're trying to differentiate ourselves from just being a fun, gorgeous bath company. We're doing other things. We're doing products that have more benefits to them, that are geared toward athletics and to those types of folks. So we're doing that, and because we're NSF, we do private label for CBD and do third-party testing and all of these crazy things also. So all of this stuff is just ways that you have to stay fresh and new and fancy, because the world is immediate, right? It used to take days to find out things, and now it's minutes and seconds. People will say, are you selling on Amazon? Oh God, well, if you just get on Amazon, you're gonna make $1 million. There's one human on earth making money on Amazon. What's his name, people? Jeff Bezos. So if you're thinking that Amazon is your answer, look at it. I tell my husband when I go in, and he's like, let's talk about Amazon. I said, can we look at that as a marketing expense? He's like, we could. He says, but come on, at some point, you have to make some money on Amazon. I don't know what that point is yet, because we have a ton of business on Amazon, but by the time they get their feed and you ship it free and it's got to be next day and this guy's dog needs it, and it's all this crazy rules that you got to jump through, I think we make a penny. I think, and that's my math. If you ask my husband, we're losing a penny. So these are the things you have to think about, and it's constant, because you think, man, I just got this huge order from Bed Bath & Beyond. This is so great. This is exactly what I needed. Wait, I'm sorry, what? You need it when? Okay. By the time you do the overtime, it's like, did we make a penny? Because we just need to make a penny. That's all, just a penny. So you have to be careful, number one, what you wish for, of course, right? But the other thing too is stay focused on what makes sense for your business. So a lot of people will come to me because of my background, and I've worked in a lot of huge cosmetic companies, and I can formulate anything. They'll say, oh, I'm looking for shampoo, or I'm looking for a dog wash, or all of these crazy things. And the old Debra would have been like, of course I can do that. And the truth is, yes, we can do that. But we're not going to do that, because that is outside of what we're very good at. And I refer lots of business to lots of people all day long, because it's not a sweet spot for me. And it has to make sense for me. And everything needs to make sense for you. And the hardest thing to do when you're dying and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I don't know how I'm going to pay my employees. I don't know how I'm going to eat. The last thing you want to do is say no to someone. But it's the bravest thing. Because it takes everything in you to keep your focus. I know you guys are going to find this hard to believe, but I'm super hyper. And I am like the cat with the dot. Okay? And it's super funny, because people at the company will be like, over here, Debra, over here. Stay focused, because ideas come to me constantly, and as entrepreneurs, or even if you're an entrepreneur, someone who's making money for someone else, which I love entrepreneurs also, even if you're one of those people, things come to you all the time. It's fast, 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 fast. And what sticks, right? So you have to train yourself to not follow the dot. And it's super hard, because a lot of times I could be walking through our factory and something, I call it a divine, thing that happens, and my husband's like, I'm pretty sure that's not divine because there's just too many of them. He's like, that's just chaos and crazy. So, you need to have somebody who's on your team that says, I love your idea, but we're not doing that right now. And that really just means we're not doing it. And that's okay. And once they give me the reasons why, I totally get it. And it's because we're not doing a dog wash, and we're not doing catnip, and we're not doing all of those crazy things that we could do. Because if there's a way for me to formulate it, I will figure it out. I mean, that's my love, and that's what I do. But it doesn't make sense all the time. So keep your focus, because when you keep your focus, it's easier when you're down in the dumps. There are days when I'm like, okay, I'm leaving my key in the door, and I'm just gonna walk away. And maybe some other just idiot will come up behind me and go, well, there's a key in the door, and walk in and take over this place. But then I catch my snap and I go, you know what, I'm on the hook for this lease for how much longer? Right? We personally guarantee everything, which is a big joke. But that's all. I've got the personal guarantee of a flea. It's like, come on. But, as you get super discouraged because you think, how many things can I take in a day or a week or an hour? And the bigger you get, the more comes after you. People come after anything that you're doing. I've had a competitor walk right up to me and say, I don't have to do anything except watch what you're doing. And I said, try to keep up. And I walked away and I said, what are you to do? So, but this is life. People are watching and waiting and seeing, and that guy got something cool, I want some of that. So, you just have to remember that people are, literally there with their knives, waiting. But that's okay, because truly, you can do it. It's hard. And there are days that, seriously, like Elizabeth said, you're just like, what is going on? Because even though I'm super old, I can still get a job with Estee Lauder. I could still go sell number 5. I can still do that. Or I can go work the morning shift at Starbucks, because no one wants that shift. So, I can do that. And if that's the worst thing is I can still get a job. Okay, really? That's not that bad. So then you kind of dust yourself off and go, I'm not going to let that bastard win. He's going to steal my idea. He can try. But by the time you figure that out, I'll move on to the next thing. It's hard to be successful. And I'm super successful. I'm not going to lie. I'm successful. And it's hard. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to keep your employees to come to work on time. I would love for you just to show up, because we have 4 10s, so just show up 4 days in a row. And I actually am out of the employee business now because I'm apparently too direct. I was told I was too mean. So I'm like, when someone tells me they're late, and I'm like, I find early, I'm not late. I'm sorry, did I hurt your feelings?
Too bad.
Gosh, I'm so sorry about that. And I almost start every meeting on Monday mornings and say, I just want to check that everyone's an adult in the room.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure a kid didn't somehow sneak in here. Because you need to have tough conversations with your employees sometimes. Like, hey, if we don't get our production numbers up, we're going to miss the academy order. And I don't want to tell Mr. Myers that we're going to get a chargeback because we're late. So who in the room wants to do that? They all run away. So, sometimes the truth hurts us all, but it's just facts. The other great thing I love is, as much as I love human beings, there's not a single poor person that ever gave me a job. Not one. And that's just the facts. I'm the one who's leveraged my house, my savings account, my 101k, my everything. To give 40 people jobs who are ungrateful most of the time because I don't have the right snacks in the break room. It's like, okay, people, you know? So those are the things that you have to deal with. And my husband's like, there's emergency in the break room of 4 flavors? I said, that's what happens when you cave into your employees' demands. We need flavored coffees, and we need emergency, and we need better nuts. Not just the peanuts, we need the fancy nuts. I'm like, what is going on here? Seriously, these are like real conversations in the suggestion box. We need fancy nuts. Like, you know what? We're going to have words. Now, fancy toilet paper, I get. Because if I'm going to do an ask, it's for that. I want fancy toilet paper. I don't need fancy nuts. So, but these are things that we have to deal with as business owners. And this is just life. And some days you walk out the door, you're like, okay, I'm so over all this place. But then you wake up and you're like, okay, it's time to kick my competitor's ass today, because that's what's going to happen. Because I'm faster, I'm smarter, I'm prettier, whatever it is. We all have a thing that we are. And it's usually we're smarter. You know, people are such ding-dongs. They're just ding-dongs, all of them. And so it doesn't take much to be smarter. Most of us have that as entrepreneurs anyway. It's focusing that, it's honing it, it's listening, and figuring out how I can get you to yes. Okay, so we're all adults. I'm imagining most are married in here. So I look at sales like I look at marriage. No doesn't always mean no, right?
So you say?
I'm just saying. Sometimes no means ask me later. Sometimes no means maybe, and maybe is always yes. Maybe is always yes. Maybe is not maybe right this minute, but you said maybe, and maybe is yes. So if you can always remember your sales conversations that way, that is, no usually means you haven't asked it to me properly, or it's not right now, but keep in touch with me. Most salespeople just fall away after their first no. They're so wounded. Jesus God, I would not be in business if I did that after. Everyone says no. Randy didn't even know what a bath bomb was. So I had an opportunity to do a pitch to some Wall Street guys, and none of them knew what bath bombs were. I said, but a bath bomb, once you put it in a tub of warm water, fizzes and foams, and it kisses you with moisture from head to toe.
I like that.
Everyone wants that. Everyone wants that. Everybody wants that. So when you think about your pitches, it's all about understanding what the audience is looking for. You know, you're not going to have that conversation with Academy because they're looking for something different. But you all have customers and different types of customers, because a luxury watch for a new entrant could be $1,200. A luxury watch to someone of my age could be 6 figures. So it's understanding who you're selling to. And if the person's not the decision maker, that doesn't mean you don't wow the hell out of them. And it doesn't mean you don't treat them like they're the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. And that you're hanging on everything that they, I want you to achieve your goals. So you use me. How can I help you with your goals? Before you know it, we're talking career coaching and all of this stuff. But beyond that, they're telling you what you need to do to get to this lady who's the decision maker. She's super tough, but she loves cats. So I'm just throwing that out there. Just you want to come in a cat sweater? I don't know, but there's like little things, right? Before you know it, you come in and you're armed with knowledge. So the takeaway from all this is, yes, I'm super hyper and you will love Enfusia forever, but the second takeaway is, don't let the little shit get to you because it's all small. Even the biggest things are small. When you really start peeling it away, you have what it takes. You're here. You got up today and you said, kicking ass today. Whose ass am I going to kick today? Oh wait, that's the wrong group. But you know, you have what it takes in you already. So it's okay to get discouraged and to cry, but then you're over it and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. Because it is hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. But that's true of anything. Running a marathon is hard, right? Okay, well I can't do a full, maybe I'll start with a half. And that was damn hard too. So, you know, but life is hard. I'm always super nervous when things are going too well. It's like new tires, right? My car looks no different. But I have new tires, so if I hit a pothole, I'm probably gonna be okay. So just think of that. Life is crazy. It's hard. There are potholes everywhere. Keep your tires fresh. That's you, your skin, right? Keep yourself fresh. Sharpen each other, get together, gripe and complain, problem solve. But at the end of it all, remember that you are stronger and better than you think you are. Just by being here, by making it happen, you're better. So with that,